It's a real challenge because kids are using AI to write and teachers are using AI to generate lessons. And then they're using AI to detect plagiarism. And then they're using AI to mark. For me, it's probably going to be different for future generations. When I learned to write, it was just about being able to synthesize ideas, and the page really helped me learn that process. As a young person that comes out of school, that goes into the marketplace, whatever business they're going into, if you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to article, you're going to learn that thinking process, that grind in the trenches where you have to really understand how the basics of the business work. When you outsource that, the fundamentals of the base of a business or a venture to an AI, how's the younger generation learn that process? It's also determining what's good and what's bad, what's good and what sucks. You learn that process through rigor of doing it and finally understanding what's working and what is high level and what is just sort of subpar. I think it's going to be really difficult. I very much relate the way that big tech unleashed social media on the world to the way big tech is unleashing AI on the world without any government control, without any government regulation, without any thought into what we're really doing to our society and our social fabric. I think there's still no real controls on social media. And it's been a terrible experiment on our kids, not and on ourselves. We're all scrolling, right?
Yes.
And AI is now doing the same thing in a much more fundamental way. It's changing everything about how we learn, how we live, the fabric of our society, the solidity of our democracy. So this is a big shift.
It feels like there's a bunch of mad scientists in the lab doing this crazy experiment. They're not even sure where it's going to go. There doesn't seem to be any oversight in terms of the experiments that they're doing. It's almost whatever happens. From a societal point of view, the one thing I worry about is when AI automates to the extent that there's not enough work for people to do, then you've got a real problem.
That's coming for sure. But we were seeing it already. Where are all these new jobs, high level jobs that people are going to graduate to?
They keep talking about how AI is going to create a new class of jobs. I'll believe it when I see it. I guess one of the interesting questions is whether we should be pushing back on AI when you think about the fact that we use these tools as default now, but maybe the pendulum has to go back. And I'll give you an example. My daughter is in the first year of a master's program in landscape architecture, and she has a professor who refuses to let the kids use AI. He refuses to let them submit essays digitally. Everything has to be written down. For the students who are digital natives, they think this guy is being unfair and unreasonable, and it's not an efficient way to do it because they have to write. Handwriting these days, when you think about it, how many kids are learning how to write script? But maybe this guy's on the right track. Maybe we have to brute force students and people to go old school. You have to do this because if we all go AI all the time, that's a dangerous road to go down.
I mean, it is possible. I think that there's probably going to be a middle road. Now cell phones are going out of the classroom. You remember that big push where every kid had to have an iPad in the classroom? Now we're going the other way where no one's allowed to have an iPad. No one's allowed to have a cell phone because we see what it's doing to the actual learning. That might be the way it happens with AI. I'm not sure. But I like to use the example of chess and what I think will be the rise of human spaces in this new world, where there is going to be a backlash where people want this human to human connection. If you look at chess as a great example of humans can't beat computers at chess, but nobody wants to play chess with a computer. Chess has never been bigger. Chess is a huge industry now. It's a giant industry. I mean, I follow all these chess vloggers. I don't know why, but I do. I'm a terrible chess player, but I find it interesting. But chess has never been bigger because people want to do things with other humans. And I think that's going to happen all over the place, where we're going to see the rise of human spaces. And I think there's going to be a big shift in learning as well, where people are going to realize very quickly that something has got to be done, or people are not going to be able to synthesize ideas the way they used to.